Morning coffee. Get ready. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Halloween.
Wake up, it's a brand new day. Let's get down on the good news train. Have your morning coffee with Mario every Monday. Get the 311 before the morning's done. Laugh until you cry. You can always rely on morning coffee with Mario every Monday. Morning coffee with Mario.
No, ladies and gentlemen, that's not enough. It's Halloween. What's coming up? We gotta stretch and flex and beat on the chest. Come on, y'all. Morning coffee is live. All you new Facebook friends, time to get off your ass. Get that morning stretch. Come on.
Yeah, be cool, just move with the groove. No funk in here, the beat way too smooth. Let's just do what we came to do, just vibe with it. Vibe with it. Be cool, just move with the groove. No funk in here, the beat way too smooth. Let's just do what we came to do, just vibe with it. Unleash the verbal blessing, go to sick with herbal lessons. So kick back, chill, relax, and learn a lesson. No 9mm, no heaters, or Smith the Wesson. You'll find this rhyme secure, no question. This time, let's vibe with time without weapons and groove with the music in the smooth session. This time, let's vibe with time without weapons and the beat to me like sap to a tree. It's in me. The rap happens to set me free. Instantly when the mic touch this MC. Without the mic, this MC feel empty. I'm telling y'all, it's the lyrical recipe, lyrical ecstasy. Hearing no less from me, I accept and expect no less than the best and inject intellect without disrespect. Come on, be cool, just move with the groove. No funk in here, the beat way too smooth. Let's just do what we came to do, just vibe, yeah. Be cool, just move with the groove. No funk in here, the beat way too smooth. Let's just do what we came to do, just vibe with it. It's like an epidemic, pop star gimmick. Hit it, get it, then realize that you in it and you're finished. Don't dream diminished. See, I play the season, y'all have a scrimmage. I spit with reason, y'all hip the image. But I believe the dream has no limits. I believe that's the whole reason we live it. But they don't get it, they like it's not right, is it? No visit, hip hop here to stay, no shizit. We gonna get it, new improved music, move and groove with it. Choose who you get with. I smack rap back like it's new hoes. My flow hard like Dick get the skimpy clothes on individuals when anything goes. I play a pick 'em like eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Got soul, got so much funk up in the rap, I should pack a fat bowl. Y'all should kick back, relax, and just roll with me, vibe with me, roll with me, vibe with me, roll with me, come on and vibe with me. Hip hop ain't dead, just keep it alive with me. Be cool, just move with the groove. No funk in here, the beat way too smooth. Let's just do what we came to do, just vibe. Let's just do what we came to do, just vibe.
Come on. Had to start it off. Thank you, everybody. Had to catch my breath. Had to start it off differently today because we're getting ready. This is the pre-Halloween show. And so we wanted to get you going with that Halloween spirit. Welcome, everyone. Morning coffee. Everybody have your mic up. I didn't have anything. Everybody give it up for my partner in crime.
What's up, man? What's up, man? I'm good. I'm celebrating Halloween. I'm coming as a hoodie. That's it. That's it, man. Hoodie.
What can we say, you guys? We're getting ready. Welcome to Monday morning, 10 a.m. broadcast. I want to say, well, Vic, first of all, some of the stuff I was starting to mention to you in the pre-broadcast, but I decided to hold off for the show, was because stuff is happening. I don't know what's up with y'all, but so starting Sunday, I think I got like 100 friend requests. Okay, Vic, I got like 100. They still coming.
Where at though?
Started Sunday.
Where at?
The friend requests started going crazy.
From what app?
From Facebook.
That's what I want to make sure.
From Facebook, crazy
Okay.
Facebook, and a bunch of young ladies, and first of all, I want to say something, y'all suspicious. Some of y'all a little suspicious.
Right.
Hey, but I want to thank and acknowledge all the new Facebook friends that I'm accumulating right now, all the Facebook friends and the increased membership at Pack Stereo TV. Y'all, thank you for expanding my world, expanding my circle. So thank you very much to all the new Facebook friends. It's Monday, October 29th. Like I said, getting ready for Halloween. So we're planning, take a look. It's all about the costumes. It's all about the costumes. Even here at Pack Stereo TV, we're trying to get ourselves in the right frame of mind. I've got some calls from some interesting people about Halloween. For one, our good friend, Candace Renee Rice. Give it up for Candace. Floribama Star. She contacted me because she said she wants to bring her mama by. Because her mama is coming to Los Angeles to celebrate Halloween with her, Vic.
Wow, that's great, man. You guys gonna do the repeat of walking this Hollywood Boulevard, or is that out?
I told her 2 words: comfortable shoes.
That means there's gonna be some walking.
Maybe for her.
All
I
right.
know I won't be there, but
Okay.
I did take a look and try to come up with some costumes, some mother-daughter costumes, Vic. And the thing about it, you guys, they have them here. They have them here. I did a nice Google search on the mother-daughter costumes, but none for the older folks. So you're all kind of on your own. Everybody, they had plenty of mother-daughter costumes, but not like this. So Candace Renee Rice, and let me show you Candace. I have some pictures. I pulled up some pictures of Candace with her fine self. Here's a picture of her back in the day when she's here at Pack Stereo. Somewhere in here, there's a picture of us out at Halloween.
There's a lot. You just kept them secret and to yourself.
There's a bunch of us out at Halloween with LaSalle Sargent.
Oh, wow.
A bunch of people. They're out there. So you can see this beauty, and she is a beauty. She is a beauty. And I call her the foundation of that Floribama Shore franchise. But so she's gonna. I told her, Vic. I said, Candace, why don't you post some selfies that we can re-show in Pack Stereo, mama-daughter costume.
Oh, that would be nice.
Oh yeah. I called it the mama cam. Do the mama cam.
Go ahead, Candace. You could do it. She will disavow any.
Give it
of
up
this.
for them, for those of you folks getting ready. So mother-daughter cam. All
Yep.
this stuff's happening.
Yeah.
So we've had a wonderful week here at Pack Stereo. Like I said, a bunch of stuff going on, a bunch of things happening, and I must admit I am a little suspect. I am a little suspect of it because it's happening so fast. But what can I say? It's that kind of a time.
Yeah, I agree.
Now,
Yeah.
Vic, what's amazing is that it's also a time as we head into these holidays, because Halloween actually starts the holidays. There's going to be Thanksgiving, Christmas. So the elections are coming up, and since I must admit, I too am one of those who cares about midterm elections. I usually don't, but this one is a big one.
Yeah.
November 6th is going to be election. Pack Stereo is going to be following it. Even Mac McAllister, who does the Retro Jazz and Blues show that is the pre-show for Morning Coffee, he's talking about get out and vote. Vote, everybody. It's the time to get out and vote. Voting is a big deal because people are considering all of this
Right.
a referendum.
Right.
A referendum on the president. So get out and get up. Things, it's a bit, besides all that, for me it's an especially busy week. I had to share, sometimes it's too much information, I understand. But as we get older, I'm trying to acclimate many of you along with the things that go along with some of these adjustments so we can enjoy them. But I want you to understand this week, I have 2 procedures. In fact, Vic, you got to attend with me because I have to attend with a rational adult, of which...
On both procedures on the same...
No, Tuesday
separate?
and Thursday, I'm going to get, one thing about getting older, you have these wonderful body cavity explorations as the technologists in medicine get to know your body cavities.
Right.
They get to explore all the caves and crevices in your body. So I have procedures on Tuesday and Thursday, and I'll be posting some stuff about them. I have a endoscopy with a pH probe. They're going to put a pH probe down into my esophagus and measure the acidity. It's all part of getting myself ready, which will come up in a minute to the new part for other stuff. And then I have to have pH. I have to have manometry, measuring pressure.
Okay.
On Thursday. So, a bunch of body cavity. You know me, I post that stuff for you guys to follow with me, those body cavity searches, because why should I keep it to myself? I want y'all to know what's coming up for you. You have to learn to relax that sphincter. I'm sure some of you have more practice than others. And so, goes into it. Okay, so the other thing we're going to talk about this morning, I got 2 things I want to talk about. The main one is being that coming up for the holidays, you guys. Coming up for the holidays, there's things that people think about to make money. There are things that people think about to make money every year. And one of the suggestions that I'm putting out there this year for the holidays as a DIY pay-per-view concert. For many of you don't know, because like I said, I've been friending people like crazy. And Vic, one of the ways I friend people is if you have a picture with an instrument, I friend you.
Okay.
If you have a picture of an instrument and we have 20 to 30 friends in common, I especially friend you. And if you are fine, I am a man. If you are fine, honey, I must admit I found my influence. If you are fine, honey, posing with an instrument, and we got 20 mutual friends, I'm friending you. So I friended a bunch of people. So we have a bunch of artists coming to Pack Stereo and looking at the show. So, and that influenced me. So I was thinking about the holidays, and I said one of the ways to make that holiday money is to consider doing a do-it-yourself pay-per-view concert. And Vic, it's funny, we brought this up many times, right? We brought this up about the do-it-yourself concerts because people don't realize it. One of the things that you can do today is do a pay-per-view concert because all the indie stuff is set up. Years ago, Ustream, that's now been bought out by IBM, they used to do it, but the software, let's take a look right here, it's called Kling. C-L-E-E-N-G, go to CLEENG.com, Kling, where we have an account too. And it has been for a while this solution a bunch of the other services we're pointing to when you want to do pay-per-view. And let me tell you something. One of the things I like best about them is that they actually allow you to learn it by doing free pay-per-view concerts. In other words, if you do a free concert and set up all the pay-per-view stuff just so you can establish contacts, there's no charge. You can set it up, use the whole service, get to know the service, get to know the ins and outs of the service, and you could do it as a free concert. Now, once you do start doing concerts, they have a whole mechanism here for the pay, and mostly it has to do with processing the money charges, Vic.
True.
But you could do a concert. You could do a concert here, and the kinds of money. Let me see. I was trying to show it. How much can I earn per ticket? And it all depends what kind of a ticket. The example they give you guys, and I think this is a little high, but here's the example they use. They say if you do a concert with a $20 ticket, you actually end up keeping $17.64. All right, here's Kling. In other words, if you do a $20 ticket in the United States, there's $1.49 for the Kling fees, and there's 87 cents for the payment fees. Now, the minimum concert fee they're talking about is $4.50 because they think if you want to charge less than $4.50, you ought to just go on and give it as a free pay-per-view event.
Right. I see what you're saying.
Because they say it ends up where you don't work out making anything significantly.
Right.
But I'm telling everybody about this. Kling, and we're going to be doing a show about it later on. I'll be doing a show about it later on in more detail because it doesn't have to just be a concert. I mentioned concerts, and the reason why I mentioned concerts because artists can do shows at their house, in their backyard, in their living room. They can do all of that and do it as a pay-per-view event. But it doesn't just have to be a concert. It could be all kinds of events. You could give, some of our people do makeup, and maybe they could do sessions where they teach.
Right.
The possibilities are endless. One of the things I was thinking about is a nude concert.
Well, there.
But then I thought you guys would laugh.
Yeah.
And I decided I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
So I just want you.
That
I
can
did
fly.
think about it. The full Monty, because these are the things. These are the extents I'll go to just to get a view, a follow. So remember, that's the thing I'm touting again for the holidays. Make that live money. Go check out Kling, CLEENG, for those pay-per-view events, and sign right up and see what you can get going.
Now, they have Kling presentations on YouTube clips of how to use the app and more instructional, correct?
They do.
All right.
And I was going to show more of it, but I figured, hey,
No,
we're
you
going
didn't
to
have
come
to.
back and do a full
Yeah.
extensive show at a different time again. But yeah, you're exactly right, Vic. The same thing. If you Google it, if you
Right.
go to YouTube especially, there's a bunch of videos of folks up there using it.
And for those of you, a couple of years ago, Niels did the pay-per-view trial or test here to get. It's kind of what he was doing is this beta test, the conditions of how the app works, and then of course what it generates, and then you get to pull away all that information of how much did you promote and campaign. An app is just the app, but it's the energy around it that will give you the results of what already exists. So it was wonderful for him to say, now I understand. I said, yes, it's you have a huge following. Now, the way is to get people to understand why the benefit to them is to watch you, and this app is easy to access, all those return values. So the good thing about it is that we've already had it here as something to promote for other indie artists and producers and or labels to try. Just get beyond the app. It's a little bit easier than you think. It's not. I'll say this. What do you think is more complicated, a YouTube channel or Kling?
The YouTube channel.
Right.
That's why you guys got to try it. We brought this up again. That's my suggestion for the holidays. We're going to have a show coming up about it. But a do-it-yourself pay-per-view concert, a do-it-yourself pay-per-view event of any type, you can do it. We'll do a show about it later, but go on and check out Kling, CLEENG.com, and learn all about it. All right? All right, let's give you today's weather report. Alexa, what's the weather in Compton?
Right now in Compton, California, it's 67 degrees Fahrenheit with cloudy skies. Today's forecast has mostly sunny weather, with a high of 76 degrees and a low of 59 degrees.
Well, let's see how Compton compares to where we are, because we may not be in the ghetto, but we can see the fence. Let's see. I don't even know if this works. Alexa, give me the weather for View Park, California.
In View Park, California, it's 61 degrees Fahrenheit with cloudy skies. Today, you can look for partly sunny weather, with a high of 74 degrees and a low of 59 degrees.
Well, shit, what they're saying is View Park is cooler than Compton. And we knew that, didn't we? Wow. We knew that. Take that, Compton. Yeah. All right, and Alexa, what's the birthday roundup?
Today's birthday stars include beloved painter Bob Ross, born 1942, actor Richard Dreyfuss, born 1947, actress Kate Jackson, born 1948, actress Winona Ryder, born 1971, and pop star Tove Lo, born 1987. Additionally, today in 1969, the first ever computer-to-computer link is established via ARPANET, the precursor to the Internet.
That's some heavy shit.
Yeah, it's true.
That's some heavy shit. All right. Every week I get to do a slideshow animation. And so I'm going to show that now. And then we're going to come back for a quick session on something that I need your help on. We're going to deal with the issue of young women versus older women in the dating world. I need y'all to help me. We're going to come back and I'm going to talk about this challenge that's come up in my life. It's the younger women versus older women, because I'm in the dating world now. I'm in the dating world, and I'm not sure I'm ready for all this, you all. I need some help. I want some folks to join in with some suggestions. I see some folks in the chat room. Thornton Dickerson, he and Serena Mobley, well, you know they're experienced.
Wow, you throwing them under the bus, man.
And Nancy Hardcastle. I want y'all to give me some insight into younger and older. I see Ashlyn Perez, too big. They're coming. See, they're all over, even in your side, Sydney Harris. I mean, they're live. We're here. Coming back, we're going to talk a little bit about some of the dating dilemmas, and maybe y'all can give me a hand. Here's the latest photo slideshow animation. Oh, except I have the audio turned off. Yeah, I fixed it. Rain is the third thing to go. Hey, Marvel.
Been a long time since I spoke to you, and I know that there's no rhyme or reason to what you put me through. So I take your promises and all the memories, and I play them back 'cause I can't breathe. And you are so captivating, and you are the answer
right, you guys. That was the latest slideshow animation. I get the luxury, the distinct honor to produce those whenever Victor gets a chance to do a photo shoot. And typically at the end of the Eye Victor, he's catching those photos and we use those. The subject was, of course, our own hot chocolate, Mika Williams. Give it up for her.
Yes, sir.
Slideshow animation. So, as I was telling you all, I've been undergoing it's been amazing. It's been amazing as, you know, I've done this, I'm doing a transformation. I'm adjusting to getting older and having more free time. And just as a backdrop, now I'm a retired physician from Kaiser, 30 years. 30 years at Kaiser, retired physician. And what makes it even more interesting is that I pay no alimony, I have no children, no wife, no ex-wife. So I have no alimony. I have no any of that, no baby mama drama. And so because of that, I am in a very unique position, which is why we do this broadcast. I have to put it in context because everybody says, Mario, why are you doing this? Why? And it's, you know, the people who seem most concerned are some of my old girlfriends. Mario, why are you telling the world all your stuff? And my explanation is, I'm a 62-year-old guy, retired physician, with no wife and no children. What the hell I got to lose?
I know.
That shit is like,
Right.
Or what?
Yeah, what's the
They're
penalty?
gonna send me to timeout or some shit?
Yeah.
You know, so that is the context. And I admit it's crazy, it's unique. Because Vic and I live this. Okay, we live this. And let me turn off some shit. Because it's notified. See, that's all the people, they hit me up. Vic and I live this. We live this life. And so it is a little crazy because, yes, I do live a lot of my world in the social media presence because who gives a shit? It's not like I have anything else to do. Why not? So as a result, I do, which can make it difficult. I've tried to keep it easier because of people that I go out with, many of whom don't want the notoriety, so I have to keep some things private. So anyway, it leads me into a quandary, and I wasn't talking about it, but see, because of my partner, Victor Allen, I want you to give Victor Allen
Go ahead.
special credit for a lot of this shit, because people don't know. They don't know. See, they think because they see me more that a lot of this shit is mine. Some of it is, some of it ain't. That's the way we are. We're writing partners, but Vic has been instrumental in getting me to perform and show my ass.
Not that way,
all.
bro. Not
Because
that way.
he encourages me. Tell him. He says it's empowerment, Mario.
Yes, it
Tell
is.
the world.
Yes, it
Tell
is.
the world about your stuff.
Frame your own story,
frame
man.
your own
That's right,
so,
baby.
I'm talking about dating because here's the issue for me. Dating younger or older, and I pulled up a graphic.
I knew it.
And it's not quite like that. But let's just say the issue is dating younger versus older. Because it ain't as clear cut as you may think. See, and that's what the hard thing, now, I want you to know, when I do these kind of subjects, I know I'm at risk of criticism because, okay, but if you're going to criticize, you just are. Because some of the stuff I can't get away from. I'm single. I've never been married. I've never been engaged. Therefore, guess what? I've had a few women, and I'm not the only one. If I have to be out here, I'll bring a Vic with me too, because I got a bunch of buddies out there. I mean, we were the partying group.
But party is not the correlation to what you're doing. Party just the result of your socialization at the time you were And like in the Wild Kingdom, right?
The Wild Kingdom. We had a bunch of women. Not just me, but also the folks I was hanging out with. Michael York.
Okay, you're throwing
Bobby
people under the
Carson.
bus.
That's right. I don't care, y'all. Hounds.
And include
Eddie Jarrell Williams.
and include a lot of women had a lot of men.
And we knew some women too. We knew the player girl women too.
Okay.
We know y'all was our buddies. And they talk about the Laker groupies. So those are my hanging friends.
And they're saying right now, what does it have to do with you about this subject
Okay,
today?
the point being, I want you guys to understand that at least Victor and even though there's no women here, we try. We have dating experience. We have dating experience.
I don't know if
I
that's
tried
good.
to get some women to come today, and one was supposed to come, and then they backed out. But, I'm just saying, we have dating experience. So I have to admit, because I'm out there, y'all. See, I'm out there, and I can talk about other stuff, but I because of Victor Allen, because of Victor,
There's a technique in doing
I'm
this,
talking
man.
about my dating life, because it's a trip, y'all. I'm telling you guys, it's a trip. Stuff is a trip. You think I'm like, okay. For one, there are issues that seem to arise, and it crosses age ranges. We have there's just age ranges of people that we know. And I've been going out with at times, a woman in her mid-20s, mid to late 20s, a woman in her mid to late 30s, a woman in her mid to late 50s. Okay, so I've been keeping company with some age ranges. And what's interesting, and let me qualify. They're all intelligent, accomplished women. That's the one thing I will say, all of them. The younger one tends to be less established. But I'm just saying, I've been lucky, I've been privy to some wonderful women of all backgrounds, right?
Right.
A lot of different types of black women, white women, Latinas, less Asian experience, but that too. So I've been tripping because as I've been trying to sort through this stuff, you guys, there's some things. For one, this is why I'm single. I realize, Vic. They all have crazy areas, but they're not that bad. That's why I'm single, though. See, normally, most normal people are going to tolerate quirks from the people they love.
Right.
Probably more, and that's male or female. If your guy is a nut, he wants to watch football without interruption for 8 hours on Sunday. You deal with that.
Right.
Some of you even make them some potato skins or a sandwich. But it's a quirk. Other guys, your woman spending a bunch of money on shoes and stuff, that's what they do. But that's a quirk, or not. So you deal with things. So what I'm noticing for me is that I tend to be sensitive to the crazy in them, no matter what the age. So that's why I wanted to tell you all, what do you all think is more beneficial? Because it's amazing when you go out, and some weeks I'm out on a Friday with someone who's 26, and I'm out on a Sunday with someone who's 56. And it's a trip, because there are some differences, and there's some things, and I want to see why you laughing, Vic. Why you laughing?
Because I think you're tiptoeing, and you're trying to lead up to something, but I think the part is that, I always say, is there a reward for both experiences? Not just for you, for them. But I think what you're doing is slow.
For them, what reward? Me. That's the only
reward you got. That's it. You just with me, King Viter.
I don't know if it's that good. Okay, that's a different subject, Vic. Don't be changing the subject.
You just tiptoeing, man.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
To me, I always say this. Think of you're saying, here's the title of the film. Title of the film, Young Women Are Beautiful and Older Women Are Even Better. Now you sit there and set the tone for what your choices may be, but the argument may be something else. And why are they better? Why better than young women? But then you could reverse it and say, I equally found that they're both beautiful on both ends, but it's something about me.
Well, what's amazing to me is the lack of a difference. And there are differences, but this is the thing.
Right.
Since I'm older, the differences are less dramatic. See, the most obvious difference between an older and younger woman is physicality. And if you're a younger alpha male, as I was in my 30s, you know, howling like an alley cat, you're going to be hitting them young ones like, you know, machine gun fire. You know, but if you're an older guy where you're dealing with the women and the sex may or may not be the most important thing, now it's different.
What's
women,
what's most important?
well, I'm not sure. See, here's what's interesting. The older women, one of the benefits, for example, is music. The older women, we get into bed and I put on one of my mixtapes and they start singing out. They in the bed and start singing and popping fingers. Ooh wee, yeah. Whoa, 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 whoa.
I think it's more
The
interesting.
younger girls don't know that music, so then you got to play their playlist. And so their playlist may not be like your playlist.
So there's a vote against.
That's where the older women are better, because if you're gonna make some love, you want to do it to your music.
Okay.
And when you get with a young girl, she wants to make love to her music.
So now
I'm
we
like,
have what, one.
Now we got to come to agreement on the music we make love to.
Okay. Now hold on. See, what I don't
If
want.
you're making love.
So here's my thing. I'm not as interested in the fact that you had to get into the bed to play the music that you like. The story is, how'd you guys get into the bed?
Because young girls find old dudes like me fascinating. See, this is what happened. I told you what's happened since Monday. Pack Stereo, we have these moments where things blow up in terms of numbers. So I've been getting like 100 friends requests a day for the last 2 days.
Good.
Like 100 or more.
It's not the bots or the
And
Russians, right?
I've had at least 20 women hitting on me.
It's not the
Now,
bots.
how much is, some is fake,
Got
as
it.
you find out. Some are catfish. And one thing about catfish, y'all should know I'm going to catch some catfish, because the first thing I'm going to do is look at it.
Right.
If you got a profile with no information, no people who know you, you
Right.
fake.
Right.
You fake.
Right. Those
And
are
so
obvious.
I'm getting a bunch of catfish, but I'm also getting a bunch of other people that want to talk.
Right.
They want to chat. They want to experience. So I don't know what to do. And like I said, it's been like 25 to 30 a day for the last 2 days. Right now, there's like 15 women messaging me through
And
the
you don't.
show.
And you don't
Through
know
the
why.
show.
And you don't know
Why
why.
all of a sudden?
Right.
They messaging me right every time you hear when the bing, bing. They are messaging us. And so we go through this. But I just want you to know I'm trying to deal with it, but it is very confusing.
Would you feel better if you got one friend request every 2 weeks? Would that make you feel comfortable?
See, Vic, I'm not complaining. I know Vic trusts me. I'm not complaining. I'm simply saying that 100 friend requests a day
Right.
and 15 to 20 different women hit me up.
Right.
That's more like 30 a day. That's weird for someone like me.
Why would that be
And
weird?
That's what's weird about it. Some of them are fake, but they all are not fake. So I'm like, okay, so what is this? Because this is part of the dating dilemma. So here's what I'm gonna say, Dick. Here's what I'm gonna say. Because I want y'all to understand. It's not that I'm trying to pimp my whole world, but this is it. This is my world.
Right.
So I'm gonna share stuff. As people hit me up. In fact, because we're running long already, and I want to move on. I got some of the catfish I want to show you.
Okay.
That's been hitting me up, the ones I think are catfish. So we'll do that in the future. I'll start having the catfish alert where I show you the catfish.
Gotcha.
But I'm gonna want you guys to help me with some of your recommendations on some of this dating stuff. Now you say, why, Merle? Because listen, my life is this reality TV. If it's gonna be weird, let it be all the way weird. You know, I'm like, okay, you guys, it's already weird. It's already weird. We can't make it normal or sane. We can't. So the only thing you can do is ride this horse. That's all I can do, is ride this horse. It's crazy. So I'm going to ride it, and I'm going to let y'all know about these dating people when they hit me up. And hopefully, like if the women that I talk to, I will ask them, do you mind being seen on internet television or on Facebook or anything, Instagram? Do you mind taking pictures when we go out to eat or we go to a concert? Do you mind taking photos? Most of them don't want to take the photos. I got Maxwell coming up, y'all. Good seats. Maxwell and Marsha Ambrosius. No date. Partly because I want to take someone who I can take photos with. But anyway, that's another thing. So I'm just going to involve you guys because I don't care. Feel free to comment as I go through this journey of dating and younger versus older. And I'll just have to tell you how it goes.
I just need
younger versus older.
So the other group doesn't feel left out. You actually already said I prefer as a comfort zone the older one.
No, I didn't say that.
But your framing of the story said you used a music example, but you didn't use another example.
No, let's give me another. Because my recent friend, who's in her late 30s, mid to late 30s, she's actually been the most wonderful.
Good. That's all I want to hear.
That's the actual truth.
But so you gotta.
Now, I don't know if we can use that.
Yes, you can.
That's not a statistically significant. That's 1 out of 3. See, y'all gonna want to say that's a trend. It's not a trend. It's not enough people. I'm just saying, the women that I've dated, right, have been around, the one that was by far
right
the most enjoyable for a bunch of reasons was the one in her late 30s.
Good. Now, exiting out.
Why?
Exiting out. Somebody's going to go like this. It says, so you were the cat in your mid-30s. It says, I just want to share with everybody. I want to be able to tell you who I'm dating. Sure, take pictures with y'all out, but back in the day, you was going like, I'm keeping it low and underground.
Because that's because we were doing more than one woman.
So you
now I ain't doing. Listen, and by the way,
all right,
I'm not screwing none of these women.
Wait a minute, now it's screw. What about?
I would say fucking.
Yeah, wait a minute.
I'm trying to be.
They want to hear making love.
Here's the thing. No, because you got to break it down. What's amazing is the other thing. For the amount of drama that I have to experience in the dating world, when you're not having sex, I purposely have been not having sex. Do you know it's just as crazy without the sex? It's already, they get crazy. Everything's the same. Possessiveness, everything the same. So I want you to understand, you know, I used to say, once you stick it in, everything changes.
Oh, okay, you just
everything
took it.
changes. I'm saying,
oh my God,
that's the part that stays the same. Once you have sex, everything changes. It'll make makes no difference what you agreed to. Whatever terms and conditions you and your person, the other have arrived at, whatever negotiations you have done, they all go out the window the minute the penis enters the vagina.
Which age group are you talking to now?
For every age.
What about?
That's universal. Every age from
Is this
to
wisdom?
Death.
Is this wisdom or you just what?
This is wisdom. So now let's get to the final part of the show.
Okay.
Because I'm going to tell you, I want some of the things that I want you to be aware of, because there are things that are different on the obvious of younger versus old. For one, they eat different. If you take an older woman out to eat, they gonna want some seafood. Young women, you can feed them pizza. you can feed them any old shit. Young women, you can throw any old kind of shit. You have to feed them just alcohol. Now, there's other differences. There's differences in what you do with your downtime, your uptime, and your weekend plannings. Now, that's the ones I want to tell you what's right I've noticed already. See, what happens when you're downtime? You have downtime, older women Let me blow up these pictures just to be good. When you have downtime, older women, they like sensitivity and companionship. See, that's in your downtime. When you're relaxing with an older woman, she wants her sensitivity and her companionship. Now, when you're relaxing with the young women, they want dick.
Am I supposed to show this?
Yeah, she's supposed to show this.
All right, there you go.
want dick.
There you
Okay.
go. I just want you to understand
Now,
the visual.
When you relaxing with an older woman in your uptime, when you getting out with your older woman, they want travel and romantic dinners.
You don't think young women want that?
When you out with young women, they want dick. They want dick.
Boy,
They want dick.
you're slamming the young women.
I'm just telling you,
You're
saying.
slamming them, man.
I'm hanging out. This dick. Now, when it comes to weekend outings, you planning weekend outings with your older woman, they like to get out to wonderful events, music events, plays, and the like. When you get for planning your weekend outings,
You need
young
quality.
girls,
You're
want dick.
not going to get a lot. You're going to eliminate your choices because they see this. They're going. So you're saying
So it's not true.
Yes,
I
it is.
noticed the ones saying it, the older ones.
you what?
Now the older ones are saying,
Wait a minute.
we want
Mario,
dick too.
Mario,
Now here's the
thank
difference.
you. That's what they're saying.
That's what I'm saying. The truth is, let me tell you the big difference. The difference between a younger woman and an older woman when it comes to dick is that the older women are understanding. They know, an older woman knows about older dick. See, and the truth is, if you want some pounding, thrusting, vigorous, don't go screwing old people. Let's just be real. That ain't to get vigorous sexual activity. You want vigorous sexual activity, someone breaking some bones, slamming them hips. You need to get somebody, yeah.
Somebody's gonna
So
say,
the one
how
thing
do you
about
know?
an older woman, they understand. And plus, another thing about the older women, those puppies want some sleep.
So you just
I'm
threw
just
them.
saying-
You just said
I'm
older
saying-
women don't have a sexual appetite.
No, I'm saying they do. It's a much more understanding sexual appetite,
What is
and
my
they
dis-
want to get some
what?
sleep.
Wait a minute.
See, young women, they gonna want to stay up.
What is your cutoff line of?
Even a 36-year-old woman would lay up in bed at 3 a.m, listening to the music, la la la, woo woo woo. But that 55, she's out.
They're gonna
have
ask
to get
you.
out.
They're gonna ask you to qualify that, and then you're gonna have to go
I'm
win.
just saying.
You're gonna have to qualify
I don't.
that.
It may not be for all of y'all. I'm saying. I'm just being honest with what the struggle is dating out here. I'm just being honest as a man
Watch this.
who's lucky enough to date women 26,
Watch
36, and 56.
See, I have to do
There
this.
is.
I have to do
Y'all
this.
need to know this.
They're gonna say this. Watch this. They
Get
said,
out here.
"Who is better to evaluate the women, the hunter, or the person laying back waiting to receive? Are you a hunter? And when was the last time you
I ain't-
hunted? When's
No,
the last?
I ain't a hunter.
How
No,
long has it been?
Oh, I can't remember.
So-
that's what makes this bad. See what makes this bad? Look at who you talking about. Look at about who you talking about,
See,
and that makes it bad. Okay, so we need to move on. Where's the music? Damn it.
okay.
Where's the music?
We
We
get
need to
wisdom.
move on.
Wisdom
Next show.
for the cave dweller.
I'm just want y'all to. This is what I get for sharing my personal shit. I'm just sharing my personal stuff because I'm out here in the dating world, which at 62 is comedy anyway. It's comedy anyway, and I'm out with all ages, and I need some. I don't know what to do, y'all.
I think
Jerry, I might
this
have
is
to
going to be
quit.
good because I really can't wait to see how many friend requests you get this week after this show. I can't wait. If the numbers go up, you hit the jackpot. The numbers go down, reevaluate.
I need a travel partner who's not gonna go crazy on me. I can't find a travel partner, y'all.
Oh,
Serious,
I
y'all.
think
I'm trying to go
crazy
take a
is
trip,
good, man.
and
Crazy is good.
I don't know.
I'm sorry.
Man, I need to make a show and travel. You know, everybody don't fly with that shit.
Hey.
It may not work. Rope for your boy. Remember, your boy, I'm trying. I'm gonna let y'all see what I come up with, but
It don't look good.
looks
That's what I
rough.
figured, see.
A little rough.
Oh my God.
See you in a minute.
Tell me, do you feel me out there, moving in deep space? I've seen the flip side of your moon.
Santa James.
I formed
I
the
see it, Rick.
rivers on your
Hey, Eric.
waves. Tell me, are the
Yes,
stars as bright
We're just for my Audrey.
when I hold them in your hands? And are we very, very small, dear? I am still young to understand. Is it all too much when you just want to quit? I saw it in your eyes. Is it all too much? Do you get tired of it? Is it all too much? Is it all too much when you just
Woke
want
up.
to quit? Is it all too much? Do you get tired of it? Is it all too much? I saw it in your eyes. Is it all too much? Tell me, do you feel me out there, moving in deep space? I've seen the flip side of your moon. I formed the critters on your face. Tell me, are the stars as bright as when I hold them in your hands? And are we very, very small, dear? I am still young to understand. Is it all too much when you just want to quit?
Talk about sex.
I saw it in your eyes. Is it all too much? Do you get tired of it? Is it all too much? Is it all too much when you just want to quit? I saw it in your eyes. Is it all too much? Do you
Like 53 messages this morning.
do you get tired of it? Is it all
53 messages.
too much?
I woke up with 180 messages waiting.
And it's hard to qualify them all. It's very difficult, man.
Yes, you guys, you ready to talk about some weed? I need to talk about some weed. I need to talk about it.
Times are a-changing, but some things stay the same. You start each morning with a cup of coffee every day. Maybe hit the snooze, turn on the local news, but nothing good comes from a one-sided point of view. Marijuana for dummies. Come for the info, stay for the reefer. Marijuana
Marijuana for Dummies. And it's not really for dummies. I always feel so bad about that title because that feels insulting to us smokers. And I know we're not dummies. And so, therefore, I do apologize. But it is the catchy title. You guys, marijuana, the journey is being really, it's amazing here in Los Angeles. I just had an interesting experience because I looked up and I was almost out of weed. And I can't be out of weed, actually, because there's always like a backup weed. And if I'm out of weed, there's no weed in Los Angeles. That's what people say. If Mario has no weed, there is no weed. Weed no longer exists. So, but I was low. I was feeling low, which means I was probably down to a quarter ounce or so. Not to mention that I have a hash collection and a bunch of various extracts collection too. So I have a bunch of hash, extracts, vapes, but I was getting low. So I went to the dispensary and I got some, when I was going to buy some weed, and the first thing that happened, y'all, as I found out when I got there, was my driver's license was expired. My driver's license was expired. In fact, my driver's license expired back in July. So I'm like, I Ubered over there too. I Ubered over to the dispensary, which my dispensary is not necessarily an endorsement, but I don't mind saying. It's Smoke One over on Vermont Boulevard near USC. You can look it up. Go there if you want. People have been asking. I finally said, well, I don't. It's not a secret where I smoke weed, where I get my weed. So, Smoke One. And so I had to go back home, and they wanted me to bring in my original paperwork, and I brought my passport. So I came with the original, my original paperwork from the marijuana. This is all for medical marijuana, because my shop still is not selling recreational marijuana. Still. They haven't got any of the city stuff done. They're not charging any of the tax stuff, whatever. They're just still doing only medical marijuana. And that's amazing. And I don't know what the issue is. And I know that I've heard that in the ghetto that the city's slower in processing your stuff.
Really?
I know all the rich appearing online order and other advertising people, they are doing recreational.
Pay to play, right?
That's all. It looks really weird, you guys. It looks like recreational marijuana is being approved on the west side of town. That's what it looks like. It looks like, I'll say it another way. It looks like recreational marijuana applies to white areas. Because in the ghetto, there's still medical. So I don't understand what the deal is. And my place is still doing medical too.
Is it better to say urban and not ghetto?
Well, urban then.
Yeah.
Everywhere there's black folks and Latinos, there's no recreational weed.
Right. Or minority.
There's only medical marijuana.
Right.
So that's what it appears. And I don't know what's going on. So let me just tell you that. So, but anyway, and the price went up a little bit. See, they're still popping up. See all these people? They're coming. They're hitting me up. It's like 30, 40 people hitting me. It just says broadcast.
Right.
And I'm appreciating it. I'm going to try to get back and talk to people. I promise. But I can't do it while we're live on the air. So take a look at this. I went to the Smoke One. Take a look. And I'll show you right here. That's half an ounce. That's half an ounce of Yella Beezy. Okay? And I went to go look it up, and Yella Beezy is a rapper who's been in some trouble, but that's as much as I could tell. So obviously, this strain is named after him. But I bought 4 half ounces. So I bought 2 ounces of weed. That came out to $410, which is an increase because previously an ounce was down to $160. Okay, which would have made this,
Right.
$320.
Right.
So that's $70 more. So stuff went up, but it's still excellent. Look at this stuff. I got Yella Beezy, this is a sativa, Kosher Kush, which is an indica, Larry Bird, which is an indica hybrid, indica dominant hybrid, and Royal Truth, which is also an indica dominant hybrid. So I just want you to know. Take a look. But what's amazing to me, because in the old days I never could smoke weed like this. See, I came from the days of the Mexican weed. Look at this. Okay, I just want to see if I can get it all in the ashtray for you. Look at this buzz. That is a half ounce of the most primo smoke. The structure is absolutely amazing. The fragrance is wonderful. And again, this is sativa. Now, some of my friends are like, I don't care about all. I'm glad I don't have to be worried about that. But all y'all drink. When you go out, you get those Long Island iced teas or those Cadillac margaritas. I know what they cost because I paid for them for mine. We would drink it at one place. The drinks were $15 a piece. Anyway, this is what I'm smoking this morning. The Yellow Beezy Indica. Wonderful structure. I'm putting it back in the, well, I'll set it down. But this is what I'm smoking this morning. The Yellow Beezy Indica. And it is wonderful. Okay? So anyway, my point is for a couple things. And I'll reiterate this. Keep your medical marijuana card. By identifying yourself as a medical marijuana patient, there's some legal protections that you're entitled to that may come up with your employer or whoever.
Right.
So get your marijuana card. It's $25 a year. It's the best $25 you'll ever spend. Get your marijuana card. Keep your card. Keep it active. And that way you are allowed those protections under the law. And in the meantime, I'm going to keep you updated about this whole recreational marijuana thing, because that's why I keep my card, because I would have had to get it online, go to the west side and spend a lot more money for the weed, okay? Because the taxes that they're adding to this are no joke, okay? Mm-hmm. Any questions from the group? Everybody's like, well, I thought weed was going down. Well, it is going down.
Sooner or later, you're going to get somebody who's going to engage from a usage point of view or an entrepreneur point of view to engage with you with a back and forth so you can get their opinion. Mostly right now, you have people just kind of waiting where it's the safe zone so they don't be connected with something out of fear. Because part of this is I think you'll get a lot more information from those companies who probably are arguing what you found out about recreational marijuana in the urban areas. That what are they doing to gather some analytics, some responses, some legalese, some timelines of what and when it will happen. It'll be interesting to see how that flows.
We're watching you. Marijuana for Dummies.
Times are a-changing, but some things stay the same. You start each morning with a cup of coffee every day. Maybe hit the snooze, turn on the local news, but nothing good comes from a one-sided point of view. Marijuana for dummies. Come for the info, stay for the reefer. Marijuana for dummies. Come for the info and stay for the reefer.
Alexa, rap for me.
Oh, Lord.
Connect Sync Link. All the pieces of your life. I get it done at the speed of Wi-Fi. I'm the player, the coach, the arena, and the game. If you want something done, you just gotta say my name.
Give it up, Alexa.
Oh, I like it.
You got more talented.
Yeah.
Alexa, sing me a song. I don't know if she does it.
If you ask, will you marry me?
Oh, Lord.
I might say this to you.
Where's the reggae underground?
I'm waiting till Mars is colonized, then I
bad.
That's
might
terrible,
say
man.
I do.
Scratch that off. Scratch it off. I'm sorry, dude.
Ladies and gentlemen, and now a brief moment of seriousness and an otherwise crazy morning. Yes, an otherwise serious moment and a crazy morning. We did this specifically because it's been so much negativity, so much horror going on that we don't know how to respond. I needed to encapsulate just that in one brief moment, and we will keep it brief. They caught the bomber. They caught the bomber that was sending pipe bombs out all across the United States, and then part of what has become a new frenzy of racist political acts.
Right.
Killings in a synagogue. Once again, folks being targeted simply for being who they are. Targeting Jews because they are Jews. Targeting blacks because they are black. Targeting all immigrants. This is where we stand. It's time for people to step up and assign responsibility. Before, with friends of mine had told me, some very close friends said they've fallen out with people in their circle behind Trump. And I said, no, don't let that happen. And they said, no, that the political stuff was so heated that they could no longer tolerate the lack of action on the part of their family or friends. And so these issues are causing a different kind of thing to happen right now because people are becoming aligned because the seriousness of the current situations, which is led and to a large extent, embraced and endorsed and seated by our president, is becoming intolerable. There comes a time to take action, some kind of action, political action, get involved. And by action, I'm suggesting to people that this may be the time to engage, even though I so don't want you to fall out with your friends and family based on their ill-advised political positions. I so don't want you to do that, but I do want you to talk to them. Because the way I feel about love and growth, I think that when we have people that are our friends and family that we love, when we differ with them about things so polarizing as the president and his actions, we have to tread very carefully. I specifically don't want you to fight with people you love and abandon your aunties and grandma, because there's going to be folks around you with really opinions that you're going to find flagrantly stupid, unable to tolerate. I find it sometimes difficult to even tolerate those of my friends who are apolitical, but I do tolerate them. I have friends who pay more attention to what the Kardashians wear than they pay to Trump. Okay? So I have a bunch of lightweight friends. I have a bunch of heavyweight friends, but you know what? I got a bunch of lightweight friends too, who are politically astute, who seemingly don't care. That's not what they're involved in. So I don't want you to turn your back on them. I think when it comes to those kind of issues, we have to seek to engage, inform, and make them aware of our positions. But I am not encouraging you to abandon Auntie Jane because of her flagrant anti-homosexual, anti-Latino biases, her hatred of Jews or her blacks. I'm just saying you got to work with them and try to change them. But that's where we are today, because it's reaching crisis points. Even if you're Jewish, and my Jewish friends, and see, my family's so rainbow. See, I got Jews in my family. We got everything in my family. Okay, all religions, everybody represented. So I may be pro-Palestinian on certain issues and anti the government of Israel, but that doesn't allow me to be anti-Jewish. And I think people use things like this to excuse their racism. It's all right to be against the government of Israel, but if you're going to use that as an excuse to hate Jews, you're just racist. Okay, it's no difference. It's like if you want to hate the United States, you're going to hate me? Okay, because there are Jews in Israel that are protesting. What about them? Be careful of what you do today. And what we need for you to do is come out against all forms of bigotry and racism, because I want you to be aware of what's happening. This is what's happening. People are feeling empowered, and they are doing crazy things. Now, I have a couple opinions on that. With all this money we spent on intelligence and all this, you mean to tell me that we can't identify the obvious nutballs who advertise their nutty, deadly activities on Facebook? I mean, if you're so nutty that you're willing to put on Twitter, Periscope, and Facebook what you intend to do, that's legally out there, free for someone to monitor and come give you a call. These nuts are on social media advertising what they do, and there is no empowerment of any age. As strong as the United States is, and all this money we have, and all this exceptional budget, we can't monitor Facebook and Twitter for the people who say I'm about to go in and shoot up something. They can't catch that? Really? And see, here's the other thing. Let me tell you the other part of it, which is even worse. Even if they did, in this country with all the money that we have, we don't have a mental health system to take care of them. This is part of the problem why the crazies are out there. You have no system to provide mental health care. So there's no one looking, no one to identify them. And if you did have that and identified them, there's no place to refer them to. And they have no benefits to pay for that, so you wouldn't do anything for them anyway. So you let the crazies be out there, but they can buy a gun. Wow. That's what's happening today. And we're not doing anything about it. We're going to let the crazies continue to kill us because mental health is a crisis in the United States of America. As far as I know, there is no good mental health plan. This is a lifelong affliction for most people. It needs to have care that goes as long as they're living. I'll say it again. For most, this is a lifetime affliction. They need care to last as long as they are living. I worked with Kaiser for 30 years. Those benefits run out. They only cover so many visits. There is, in my opinion, no good mental health care coverage. There are a bunch of good health care professionals out there, but they don't have systems that allow the patients to even get to them or the service to be paid for. So this morning, I changed my broadcast up and I started and talked about things that were fun and frisky and all that because I had to put the news in an area where I could compartmentalize it. Because the things I had to say were because I was so outraged, and I remain outraged. Racism, killings in synagogues. Look at this president. If you have the utter audacity to remain a Trump supporter, shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you. But I will go to my friends and family and pray for their understanding and forgiveness of your ignorance, because now I finally understand how Hitler came to power. I used to wonder. I studied Nazi Germany. I said, what happened? Did people just go crazy? And now I get it. All you need is enough to go crazy and the rest of them out there to be sheep like a lot of Americans, quietly huddling in their homes and whispering to themselves. Gutless, spineless sheep. When you have that as part of the public consciousness, that's when a Hitler comes to power. The fact that people are more outraged about Trump, that they're willing to accept these new standards, show you the willingness they have to be led down a path of corruption. And so it is. So I just tell everybody, it is now time to check your own consciousness and spirit, and time to be active. Now's the time. Coming up next, Victor Allen's New Sports
between two people
and Hot Picks as we enter part 2
charismatic
of the Morning Call.
Creating a union that is telling, shining a light, shedding a glow, feeling your soul. From love arises a booming energy, sending the world a message in a bottle. There is more to show. As the love grows and kicks into full throttle, the fused unit produces a message that becomes a more powerful whole, even more powerful than the love in full.
We go here, we go there, we go where we think we'll find it. Again we search until we see how it is. We'll never be free, 'cause we make goals, we make plans, we make love, we take stands, 'cause we know our time is short. We make the best of what we bought. But tell me where do we go with our broken hearts? Oh, tell me where do we go with our broken hearts? We go here, we go there, we go where we think we'll find it. Again we search until we see that we will never be free. But where? But tell me where do we go with our broken hearts?
Y'all ready for some sports?
Maybe.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now that time. Victor Allen's New Sports, his unique fan-based view of sports. A recurring segment of the Money Coffee with Mario show. We hope you dressed appropriately, sports bras and jock straps. Get ready. As we go, here's the man the ladies have described as sexual chocolate. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Doug. Yeah!
You know, you can always perpetrate the lie. You know that, right?
That's what they said. They said sexual chocolate.
Yeah, right. Next time I see that, I'll let you know.
Whatever that means. Sounds sticky.
Just give you an idea. Mario is hitting these new numbers when it comes to friend requests at Facebook. Mine are up. Mine was at 1.5 per week. Now it's up to 2. Just letting you know that I'm banging, man. I'm knocking it out the park.
My stuff is weird.
Right. All right. Hey, the first thing I want to do is always acknowledge that it's more than just a month. It's for all time. Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We're coming to the end because October celebrates that. You know, the color is pink. Want to sit back and say, hey, look, you just don't stop on the 31st. This is something that's forever. And forever is as long as it's needed, and the treatment and the affliction that those who are suffering going through this. But I love the idea that it's a whole month. And that's, better than just one day. And then once it becomes just a continuous celebration, that there are accomplishments and there are things that are showing that there are better treatments and all that goes along with it, I'm all for it. Now, with that being said, I also want to say it's very hard to get into an area when Mario has done such a wonderful job of framing what they say is the climate that we're in. Now, I never forget that. I never forget it, but I also believe people need places to take their mind away from. And if you want to start to make a change, vote. Before you vote, go read and research. That way, at least it gives you something. Do not rely, and I'm saying this and I'm part of this as well, do not rely solely on broadcasts that are all perpetrated and promoted by a cash box of millions of dollars to frame your thinking. Be careful of using that. Be careful of all the interactive ads, your social media. You don't know who's behind it. You just think it's the flavor. Just take your time. And if you are going to be political, they take advantage of you being emotional first. Be educated first. So I just had to get that out of the way because I know when I get to sports, a lot of people think, hey, you ain't, I said.
Very important, Dick,
saying.
and I totally respect your position on that. In fact, I'll follow up by saying we all have been fooled. I've been fooled. I think I just get fooled less than some of the other people.
Right.
But we all
Right.
get fooled.
Right. And you don't have to know everything, and you don't have to vote on everything. So if all of a sudden you get a pamphlet and there's 20 propositions, and you're only aware of 3 in depth, vote for those 3. Don't random go like, this sounds okay. You don't follow where they say, hey, look, just make a choice. Don't worry about it. Then after the fact, you get the real data. Most of this is sponsored by those who have a position, whether it's Democratic, Republican, or independent. First, have your own mind. Determine what's value to you or not. All right, back to the sports. We're going to make sure that the sports has a good spin no matter what we position the topic. We're in Los Angeles, so you know what's up because you didn't even talk about it. You usually do that, right?
I was leaving it for you.
No, you didn't even talk. Because if this was the Lakers and they won, you would be ahead of me. If it was the Dodgers and they won, you'd be ahead of me. Mario just said, I can't do the Boston thing. And I'm going to say this.
No, hell no.
No, wait a minute, man. Let me just say this. First of all, the players are grinding, right? I got it. You're not supposed to choose for that city, but don't fall into the trap, which you yourself always preach. It says once you get to know the individuals, they should not be the totality of that city. So let's just give the players on the field respect because they gangstered the Dodgers. I'm mad because I'm a Dodgers fan. Why you want to do that? Why you want to do that, man? Look, let me just, but come on, man. Look, I was Boston favored. Yes. Were they heavily favored? Yes. I actually sat back and said, dude, this is my hope. I'm cheering and pulling for the Dodgers. You know what I hope for? Please don't let them get swept. That was my thing. Because when you go look at the numbers, and they were actually telling you that Boston is one of the greatest, if not the greatest. This team this year may be the all-time greatest team Boston has had. So you kind of knew. With that being said, I'm afraid to ask Mario what he thought of the championship, but I'm responsible. See, I'm responsible, and I have to get your input.
I went to Boston in the 70s, and the
Lord.
experience was so traumatic. I have never gone back. The most racist city in the world.
I tried.
I can't root for them for anything.
I tried.
Absolutely anything. If you're black and you live there, I feel for you. Even if you got money.
Okay, now wait a minute.
You
Let me
still
help you.
live in one of the most racist cities in America.
See, now when I'm on his segments, I participate, keep
Okay,
it
I'm
light.
sorry, I'm sorry.
So what he does.
Well, you called me out.
I said
You called me
can
out
You
because
find
first
is
you
there
got came root for Boston.
Is there
No, nothing.
Nothing.
Hate them.
So if one of
Boo.
the players from Boston's PR people say we like to come into Pack Stereo and be able, because we love your independent platform, and it's very relaxed and comfortable, and you do an excellent job from a championship team, and it's an individual who's a champion. You'll be the one saying no. You on spot
That
now.
would force me
You say
to a moment
don't-
of deep internal
You say no. You bullshit.
difficulty. I would be trying to
With
deal
bullshit.
whether or not I should bite the forbidden apple
Okay.
of Boston.
Okay.
And there goes Vic, see, trying to bring, just like, no, here comes this beautiful woman that looks like she's a mixture of African, Latin,
Thank you.
and she says, Mario,
Got you.
I love you, but
You know what? Stop.
I love the Boston Celtics too.
You know what? Here you go.
Well, why you want to bring up, so you want to make every kind of
Yes.
difficult situation.
Yes, because I think
It's unfair,
because-
Vic.
Watch this.
It's unfair.
Isn't it amazing? See, one of us, so you guys understand that. Money and opportunity can frame and change your mind.
See, that's not what you really say.
And
You say we're on for sale.
No, we are for sale. What the hell are you talking about? I'm for sale. Everybody,
Yeah,
why are we in
it
this
just
business?
depends on the price, I guess.
We're in this business to be invested, bought, and to sell. We're not doing this because you have your Superman suit on, right?
I guess it's just the price of the sale.
All right, good. Now, let's go to the place where people want to pile on. And I feel bad for him, but somebody before Clayton Kershaw was the worst performing future Cy Young Award winner in playoff history. He didn't own it solely, but he has come to be the one that they say he is the best pitcher almost of all time, having the worst record in the playoffs, and there's a history. Now, first of all, let me just say this. I don't blame Clayton. I accept him for what he does. How many of us would want him on your team who wins a plus-minus ratio to give you plus 10 games, plus 15 games? You take him no matter what. In the playoffs, it's about your strategy. So right now, so you just guys kind of know what they're piling on. They're already saying he's coming back next year. He's an ace, no matter how you look at it. But he's winless against the Red Sox. His ERA is 7.36. That it's not a big deal to me. I think you find ways to adjust. And I think he's trying to adjust. I just think sometimes you have to look at the manager's decisions and what they do when they have the data in front of them saying, this is where he's not as good as, and it didn't work out for him. So here's the thing. Clayton, I got your back, because you can't scream for him, oh, regular season, look what he's doing. He's lights out, and then abandon him just because you get in postseason. So, Mario. Dodgers have back-to-back World Series where the enemy came in and won in their backyard. Back-to-back years. Are you hopeful for next year? Because they're in the top 5 far as going back to the World Series already.
Well, I think this is where people, to me, simply don't take notice of the blessings that they have. They made it to the World Series.
Yes,
Jesus.
yes, they
I
did.
mean, it's interesting. We love to talk about people who lose in the championships.
Right.
repeatedly. And
Right.
I think of the Buffalo Bills, really,
4
in
times.
football.
4 in a
And
row.
there's some
Man.
that just, you feel for them, but their legacy was that they got there.
Right.
That they got there, that they were and finally seen as the best two teams.
Right.
And they were allowed to go head to head. And I feel for him because just like the examples I met, there are numerous football greats. Jackie Wilson dropping that ball for the Dallas Cowboys in the end zone.
Right.
There's famous people who have these really bad moments that they get remembered for out of their whole career.
Hey, yeah, man.
Where the rest of their
We're spoiled.
career
We're spoiled.
is wonderful. So I feel for him, Vic. I feel for the Dodgers.
Yeah.
But I would say to everybody, geez, you guys, they made it to the World Series.
Right. Now I'm gonna say
Twice. Obviously, you're doing
Right.
something right.
right. So look, hey, look, they're gonna jump on somebody. They're gonna jump on Dave Roberts, the manager, because after the 18-inning game the day before, where the Dodgers pulled it out, when they go into this fourth or go into the fourth game, Rich Hill is doing a wonderful job. And they say you get into this area where you go, it's time to make a change. But it's not because he's struggling. It's because he's doing well, and they do the analytics and say, pull him. So he's winning 4-0. When they pull him, all of a sudden, the relief or your relief pitchers, whomever they may be, I'm not going to point them out.
Yeah,
you guys
because
already
he
know.
did indicate something, though, Vic.
Yeah, he said,
did.
watch me. He says, watch me. And I'm going, well, yeah, he's going to watch you anyway. So what are you trying to say? That's not my point. He was zipping the Red Sox. So sometimes they get in front of the analytics and say, this is about where it ends. I said, but there is this condition of what your eyeballs can see. Can he go another inning? And right now, everybody wish they had that back. And they lost that game. And that
Seattle
momentum.
could have given the ball to the running back.
I mean, yeah, hey, man.
Okay.
They're going to go there.
There's a bunch of plays
Yeah.
in a bunch of sports that we go back to.
They're going to go there
They're
anyway.
going to go there and say,
Right.
you could have called this. You could have called that. There's
Right.
some glaring ones, right? There's
Right.
still, Pete Carroll may never
Ever live it down.
live that one down.
No.
In this whole season, so I don't know.
Right. So first of all, congratulations, LA Dodgers. You brought us at least into the World Series back-to-back years. I'm not going to complain because, there was a time, and yes, it's going to be a time where you guys are going to win, and they're going to crown them the champion. You're just now at a time where there are better teams being put together, and now you're on a run and all this talent, and they're still the deepest team. So maybe next year is a charm, but the other teams are not getting older as well as fast. They are equipping themselves just as much. So we'll see, man. I just had to sit back and go, look, I'm not piling on. I'm just saying you guys do understand that Boston literally wiped the floor on the playoffs with every team. There was nothing really close. So, hats off, man.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the team that I'm not sure will be in the NFL championship, because I do have an argument of the team that's also being hosted in LA as the LA Chargers, who I think quietly may be coming up, but that's yet to be determined. But did you watch that Rams Packers
Yes,
game?
I did.
Did you find, now this is not fair. We're supposed to find positive flow. Anything positive about the game for you from the LA Rams perspective?
They won.
That's it. It's all that matters,
That's
right?
a big deal.
That's
That is
it.
the biggest deal.
Right. Here's the other thing they're going. The secondary was exposed. Well, the secondary was always exposed. Here's the other thing that goes along with it. Still the number 1 rated quarterback, also as they in terms of them saying all time, is Aaron Rodgers. If your secondary performed not up to spec against the greatest quarterback proposed of all time, and this outcome is it, then you win. Because he's supposed to be the best, hands down. So, yes, I looked at it as, Aaron Rodgers exposed him. Well, he's supposed to. He's the best quarterback. Now find a way to win.
I think there were other things that were exposed. The thing that got me mostly was the ability of the Green Bay Packers defense to rise to the occasion, including a fairly persistent pass rush
Yeah, they were good.
They were in the backfield, and that's just not what I'm used to seeing happen this year with the Rams.
Right.
Not used to seeing that degree.
Right.
It felt like, at least, because there were still moments with obviously with the score like it was, but it was just amazing to see those moments where they were really manhandling them. Clay Matthews was in their ass. So
scheme wise, this is what the difference between the Rams. What they do with the defense, since Bum Phillips, or his son, I always say Bum Phillips, but it's his son, on the defensive end, he has a strategy: bend don't break, because the secondary, of course, they have to wait for Aqib Talib to come back in, because that was the whole reason why they said, oh, this team is loaded. And then their secondary got injured, and so one of the players recovered. He's still yet to come in. I got it. Green Bay did something that the Rams really don't do. They put 5 to 6 men at the front. They're going to say, we're going to shake up Goff, because you give him time, he's better. He's not like Patrick Mahomes. You shake him up and he gets out the box, he gets better. Goff is not necessarily that type of player. So here's what they did to me. They said, we're going to put a number of people up on the line, and then we're going to press on your receivers. So we buy time. So by time they need to go downfield, they won't have enough time and we'll be on top of Goff. That's not a problem, because I think that was a recipe anyway they're going to do. What I found that the Rams did with Rodgers is go like this. 4-man front. There's no secrets. We're going to have to get to him with 4 men. Here's the problem. Don't blitz. And soon as the Rams took a chance and blitzed, they got burnt on the long one, which changed the game. So the part that I found about the Rams is that they needed to be tested like this, because you come away saying, oh, we just have to find a way to win. So this is one of those weeks when I said,
well, if you're going to be champion, you got to beat the better team.
Thank you. And I'm going, Green Bay should feel good, because they're going, we are getting better as well.
Green Bay should feel
good, man.
Because they did show that. And when I look at them versus the Dallas Cowboys and some of the other teams,
right?
Who do you prefer now?
Right.
I think that now it looks clearer.
Green Bay, New Orleans are doing. And Carolina's coming up. But the team, they keep talking about Kansas City and the Rams in Mexico. Yes, but Drew Brees has something to say after he actually wiped the field with the Vikings this weekend as well. So there's a lot of, I guess you could say, teams that they say you wait till you get to the halfway point and then you find out who's the real players.
That's right.
Patrick Mahomes over Denver. I'm not going to say it's a big deal. I'm just going to say he keeps winning. Cool. Here's a subject that I got to find, man. Let me see if you can bring some positive flow. You know Blake Bortles, right? Jacksonville. They jump on him about being a terrible quarterback, right?
He has terrible moments.
And turnover prone.
Yes.
Right.
So he does have
the
some
worst
great moments, but I tune in and catch the bad ones
all the time. Right. Who is the second worst quarterback in turnovers since they've been drafted? His name is Jameis Winston. And guess what else? He has over 500 fewer snaps and is in second place as the worst in the NFL. Here's my question. That's a franchise quarterback. Can we find something positive out of this and say, look, he got benched against Cincinnati, throwing 4 interceptions. He's a number 1 draft pick that's supposed to get a max contract. At 4 years in, do you think his name has already been, this is his ceiling, or it just happens to be he needs more time?
I don't think it's his ceiling.
Okay.
I'm not sure what the problem is. It may be an interaction and coaching, but I don't know. Because I've seen a better play and more consistent play from him previously.
Right.
I remember in recent years, I've been more suspect of the surrounding situations and how they affect players.
Right.
That's what's different. And before, I never would have thought, depending who your coach is and your offensive strategy.
Right.
So now I think about that much more, and I don't know. But I'm tell you what, I haven't given up on him, but changes need to occur.
Well, they benched him. in change for Ryan Fitzpatrick. So they're doing
That's an easy decision.
right. Okay.
But he has the same kind of an issue to me with consistency, and he'll go out and throw 4 interceptions in a day too.
Here's the question that
He
I think.
has.
I believe he has some value and could continue. It could be coaching. You see, has Sean
Could
McVay.
be, are we talking there?
Yeah, Sean McVay took a Fisher product, you know what I'm talking about, formerly the
Yeah.
coach, and what he did with Jeff Goff is turned it around totally.
Well, I look at how specifically the Rams in total
Right.
changed their vibe and feeling
Right.
from getting rid of Jeff Fisher.
Right. They did. Changed
Didn't
the
they
culture.
do it this immediately?
Whole culture changed. Right?
Immediate almost.
Right.
Even though it wasn't a winner, it was still
So-
okay.
so-
So there, let's go. That's
So,
the truth.
so here's the thing. So there is some positive that comes out of the Jameis Winston.
Always, there's always.
Yeah, that's
see,
what I'm
I'm a
saying.
believer that adversity, stumbling blocks become stepping stones. Either Jameis will use this as a way to expand his own skill. Sometimes players today, Vic, invest in their own coaching.
Right. So
I mean, he can pay
So
for
it's-
his own
right.
off the field coach to work with him on things. There are things people do today that are different.
Right.
And maybe but you obviously there is a change necessary. Some intervention needs to occur. I'd like to think that they would occur on multiple levels.
Which now leads me to a place where they have very little tolerance for rebuilding. So,
Or so it seems.
yeah, I'm just saying. All I want to know, is there a positive out of the Tyronn Lue, former coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers, starting the season off at 0-6? And let me put something on top of that. This is there wasn't even the window of opportunity to think, well, wait till this happened, got worse when Kevin Love got injured. And he's going to be out for the next 4 to 6 weeks. So literally, they're going to be 0 and something else. Are they serving up Tyrone? Because I'm going to give you 2 angles here. He's an NBA championship coach. He has taken the Cavaliers to the NBA championship a few years. Now they're going to say that was LeBron. Here's the other thing. Cleveland already parted ways, giving Larry Drew the interim head coach. Now, here's the thing that hit the beginning of the season. And this is where I said, management likes to coach too, and that may get in the way. Sources told Brian Windhorst, if you ever watch him, he always gets the inside on mostly LeBron James and others when there's that backstory of what's coming on in the league, that Lou recently had a disagreement with Kobe Altman over playing veterans. Altman preferred that Kyle Korver and J.R. Smith be taken out of the rotation to give time to younger players. After one game in which they didn't play, Lou put both back in the rotation without consulting Altman. So who does the coaching?
And I want to give you much respect for giving me that insight, because I was looking for some of the insider information, Vic, and in that moment you provided it to me. I didn't know that. It makes sense. And I'm with you. So it has nothing to do with the players per se. It has to do with the management. And this is especially when management seeks to have their input on the coaching style.
That's what I'm saying.
When you do that, which can be risky, probably the best way to do it is by then just selecting a coach that coaches in your style. So in that sense, if they want to have input as the way the team needs to be led, I do agree the way to do it is get the coach who embraces your philosophy. If you want to run the triangle offense, then get you a coach who runs the triangle. Don't get you a coach who doesn't and then try to make him do that. So maybe this is right. I tell you one thing, I think the good news, like you said, there are a bunch of coaching positions I think would benefit from Tyronn Lue.
Right.
I specifically can tell you that if he was in Philadelphia, they would be playing better right now. That's one that turns obvious to me.
Hey, you guys just see that bus? Somebody's under it. I wonder who. Oh, you must be talking about the coach.
I'm so unimpressed with him.
I got you.
I'm so unimpressed
All
with
right.
Philadelphia's coaching.
All
I
right.
see no philosophy.
All right.
See, for me, remember, I am big. I'm a structured dude.
I got you.
You're supposed to be knowing where you're going.
I think the part that
That don't make no
I
sense
think
to
I
me.
think the part that now you will have a pause is because here is a NBA championship coach having to deal with we're kind of coaching the direction of where you should go, and
I
now
didn't
you
even
in
think of
Philadelphia.
that. I didn't even think of that. Vic is
Philadelphia.
Totally, Vic, you totally. I didn't even. Once again, I didn't think of that, Vic. But that's insulting. I didn't even think of that
You're
part.
supposed to-
But you're right. He's a champ. Come on. Okay, so to me, you're dissing him.
And
So-
I'm saying if he can get this as a championship coach, and you're looking at Philadelphia, you don't think there's some coaching from outside of the
I'm
coaching
saying
floor?
Tyronn Lue would be a good fit for Philadelphia because I like the idea of those specific players under his tutelage.
Okay.
I like the idea of Embiid and Simmons and them underneath his tutelage. I think now you have a fit. Remember, I was in favor of Doc Rivers, by the way. He has the Clippers looking for
Good.
given what he's just given.
Yeah,
See,
hustle.
that's good ass coaching.
Right.
They can take regular shit and do good shit.
He said regular shit and do
I'm
good
just
shit.
saying, man. That's like, do you understand? Sometimes it's appropriate use of expletives.
Let me say this. All right. First of all, anybody who believes that coaches are not being instructed in most positions in the NBA have trickled down directions, whether it's point specific or not. Very few command the totality of the direction of an organization with the players that they play in there. Most people think the coaches have all this autonomy. It's only a handful that really do. All right, NBA power rankings. This is for you, Mario. The list, I want you just to sit back and say, surprise, expected, overrated. That's where they belong. I only put the first 15. You do not have to go through the first 15. You could just sit there and say, let me just go through this because there's a couple of teams in there that I said nobody was talking about them, but they are at the top of their division. So we already know, as we take a look, just for your sake, that Golden State is not number one. Nobody's going to argue with that. No one. Okay. Toronto Raptors is number 2. Not a big surprise, right? Look at the number 3.
Milwaukee Bucks.
Surprised?
No.
Surprised that they're undefeated. Undefeated.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
But I'm not. In other words, certain teams, there is a reshuffling to a degree.
Right.
Even though what happens is I like the degrees of parity.
Right.
So much like you see in the West, where
Right.
it looks a lot more competitive than I ever thought.
Okay.
So, Milwaukee Bucks, I go along with this.
Okay.
Because it's different than what you're seeing. It's just like with the Pelicans. There's certain ones that are shocking you more.
Right.
The Pelicans and the Nuggets.
So the Pelicans are at 5th. Boston's at 4th. I expect the Boston to be like 2nd or 3rd. So it's not a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, that is, but we're early.
Right,
See,
okay.
we're early. That's my thing. But I
Okay.
think it's the group that you're looking at. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying?
Right.
That's the part where what surprises you is the relative strength of Toronto. Milwaukee, who seems to be playing stronger.
Right.
Milwaukee,
Okay, Doc. Let me.
see, I'm not sure about them, but some appear to be playing stronger,
Right.
and some
And
may just be the schedule or what else.
okay, let me take you to another one. 6th place, Utah Jazz. 7th place, Denver Nuggets. See, this is what I'm saying. Some players in here that typically you wouldn't have put in the power rankings, even this early. That's interesting.
Denver Nuggets are definitely one. Utah, because of last season, you're still kind of looking for them to come up with the sleeper kinds of stuff.
What about Houston at 10?
That's a shocker.
Yes, it is.
In other words, one of the things that I'm consistently seeing that Houston does not look stronger at all right now. Vic had pointed out previously about the players who left having a bigger impact than what we thought.
Yep.
In other words, I think that Chris Paul's addition added a bunch of steadiness in the offense and is a definite addition. But the losses that they gave up appear to be more evident at least what I thought, that's what's affecting them.
Right.
They look to be weaker as a team. And that means in the West specifically, for example, I already think the Lakers can beat them. I already do.
So let me just say this. Rounding out, just going, look who's 15th. And say, do you agree with that position? Is it high, low, or just right? Just, you go to 15. Because it could say, like, remember, it's power rankings. You tell me. 15th.
I mean, I'm comfortable with that right now, even though I think,
You're
the
comfortable?
Lakers are a growing team that are looking way more physical, building around defensive hustle and shot blocking, needing to do more offensively, establish more three-point shooting, which may be Lance Stevenson or LeBron.
Right.
So I think for right now, I don't have a problem with any of this, even though I do think that there is going to be shifts. Like, I don't think San Antonio or the Lakers are down below Houston. I think actually both of them are better than Houston. But to be seen. I think potentially both of them are better than Detroit. I think potentially both of them could be better than the Sixers in Portland. See, so all of this to be seen.
I'll say this.
San Antonio's a rock. They're steady.
They're steady, but here, let me put this in there because Cleveland went through this and everybody went through this. The worst team in the NBA is in the East, and they're, I believe, winless, giving up 122 points a game. The second worst team. Hold on. Because see if they're not on the list. See, what I find is that. See, that's what I'm saying. So the second worst team giving up points is the Lakers. 122 points defensively. That doesn't improve. It won't matter how well they're doing shooting. And to be 15th, I said they're doing it because the LeBron has to turn around and go offensively. We're fine right now. Defensively,
I'm even comfortable with that, Vic, because what I'm seeing on the defense in terms of attitude and hustle and knowing where they are, I'm comfortable. I'm seeing growth consistently. I love the attitude. I love the attack.
Yeah.
So they beat you, but you're playing everybody closer. There's a lot of teams that are showing more of that,
good.
Vic. They're showing more of that.
Yeah.
And that's the parity we all kind of want. But can you go tell us who's that worst one? The worst team in the NBA?
Because like
the Atlanta Hawks,
it was either Atlanta or Cleveland. I have to go back and see
it may be Cleveland.
It may, because they give up the most points. It may be Cleveland. And so what's happening is the defense, you just can't win when you have. If you're not middle of the pack defense, you're looking for a problem down the road, no matter how good you get offensively. I'm done, man. That's the new sports. I'm out of here, man. You could take it to the bank if you want.
New sports, everybody.
Yeah, man. It was cool. Sorry to run long, you guys.
Big Rattle New Sports. His unique fan base view of sports and the current issues affecting the sports environment. A recurring segment of the Morning Cup with Mario Show. You get it here every week. Unique perspectives. Remember to dress appropriately. Sports bras and jockstrap. Bring your own talcum powder. We understand that athlete's foot is a growing problem in the world today. We intend to fight it. Be part of the experience here. Sports, I say. All right, are you ready?
Last segment, man.
Coming up, hot picks.
Shattered my heart and left me with pieces.
Okay, here's the last segment. I said I was going to do a part 2 from last week where I got into the, I can't help it, man. I call it the most difficult or misunderstood celebrities. And then we had all these categories where if you didn't think they were difficult or misunderstood, you could say, well, they're just dedicated. They're just a diva. No, they're really loving. Maybe they're assholes. We don't know. And I said I want to do part 2 because there's a long list. There could be 4 or 5 parts in this. So, as opposed to the way we did it last week, Mara, I wanted you to go as you go down and you make your decision consciously and say, "Oh, I believe it's this, that." It's the one that hits you the hardest that makes you go like, "Now, that is the queen of the females. That is the king of the males." Even if you get there before we get to the total list, it's the believability of what's being said. You don't have to wait till the end. So that puts that twist so you don't have to go, well, let me go and research again. Because some of us grew up under hearing the reports. Some are just now learning it. And some say, oh, that was too long ago. You cool with that, man?
Yeah, because what you're basically saying is that I can have my previous bias.
Yes, you
which
can.
I do.
Yes,
I've only
you do.
seen the first one. I said, I don't see this ahead of time, you guys.
Right.
We don't prompt each other ahead of time or stuff. And I don't look. So I don't know who Vic has lined up, but I do get to see the first one coming up because I'm running the screen.
Right.
So I'm just guessing
Right.
that I'm gonna have my own biases
And
that are previously established.
right. And here's the thing, because these are celebrities, we really don't have to give a long narrative about da-da-da. It's what you read, because this is how they got me. They say, here's what we put there.
What we believe.
And what we
You're
believe.
giving us
So you don't,
excuses for being biased.
you don't have to get into this. Well, let me tell you. No. This is what they said. Take it or leave it. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. First one up, Christine Aguilera, American pop singer. She always seemed to have something of a darker edgier or harder edge. But reports from the set of The Voice prove that she's definitely gone full diva. Musical guest The Wanted called her a total bitch. She just sat there and didn't speak to us. Wouldn't even look at us, said Tom Parker. She was quite rude. Agreed. Siva Kanaswaran and Max George admitted that he found her scary. Misunderstood, difficult, just dedicated. It's the real simple part.
Bitch. Next.
See, that's what I like. You just come straight to the conclusion.
I don't like it.
Don't like her. All right, gonna go to the next. This is gonna be quick. I hate to say this, you guys. Gotta go reach back, because when your name is Madonna, American singer, songwriter, actress, and businesswoman. Madonna, she says, I'm tough, I'm ambitious, and I know exactly what I want. If that makes me a bitch, okay. She so famously said, well, as long as she's cool with it. But there is definitely something about the material girl that rubs people the wrong way. Even Michael Jackson wasn't a fan, going so far as saying she isn't a nice person. She beefs with Lady Gaga, Mel B, Angelina Jolie, her fans, and even her own brother. Misunderstood, dedicated diva, asshole, whatever. What?
Well, dedicated diva.
Okay.
She's on the right side of too many issues.
Okay.
For me to call her,
Right.
she's on the right side of a lot of issues.
And you kind of grew up around it more.
Yeah, so she's just not everybody's thing, because if she's an example of one where if she was a guy, it would be totally acceptable.
Right.
The areas in which she's bitchy and she has them are like in a man would be tolerated.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. Sometimes I'm aware of certain examples that are a matter of how we don't let women do that. And she is one of those women like that.
You think Michael Jackson's too sensitive?
Oh, I think that she can be a bitch to people.
Okay. There
But
we go.
she's on the right side of certain issues.
Got it. All right.
To me, she's not Christina Aguilera. Okay.
Got you. All right. Let's go to the next. Okay, this one's going to kind of be easy. But you know what? You never know. Let's see the framing of the story. You can tell when somebody has grown up a little bit. Shia LaBeouf, American actor, performance artist, and filmmaker. LaBeouf's career has slowed down, of course, due to his behavior, including a fight with Tom Hardy on the set of Lawless. There was definitely a fight between them, said director John Hillcoat. It escalated to the point where they had to both be restrained. Hardy said he was knocked out from the interaction. Both knocked me out Sparko, out cold. He's a bad, bad boy. He is. He's quite intimidating as well. He's a scary dude. The actor added of his co-star, he just attacked me. He was drinking moonshine. I was wearing a cardigan, and here, all of a sudden, I went down, which means he came up and just landed on him without notice. Is this just somebody who's misunderstood?
What were the choices? 'Cause I didn't remember hearing mental disease. See, why don't you have mental disease as a choice? This is a person out of control.
Right.
I don't know a lot about him, but I do know about these instances where at least you have an issue of impulse control.
Right.
You just cannot do certain things. You have to contain yourself in certain situations. That's just part of adult life, and one of the measurements we look to in medicine. You know, impulse control. You may want to hit them in the face, but something tells you, no, that's not an effective response. So, mental disease is in there. Character problems. That's what happens for a bunch of these people, and they're acting out their mental disease in public.
Right.
He certainly may be that. Don't be surprised if he has a manic disorder or some other kind of whatever. He needs to be on meds and in therapy.
Well, there's a category I called other, because I didn't want to go there because you already did
On meds and in therapy.
All right, got it. That works. All right, that works. I'm sorry.
I said both together.
You said look,
on meds
I said
and
other.
in therapy.
I said other, bro. I'm good. See, my whole point is this is as much as we know is being filtered down, because we do know talent is not the only ones that can be perceived as assholes or difficult. Executives probably get away with never having been seen what they do. So yeah, I can understand.
Yes, I've known doctors with these same kind of personality traits.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, you know. Hey, look. Okay, next up. Here we go. Next up. I mean, currently, you know, Nicki Minaj, Trinidadian American hip hop artist. Nicki may be rap's latest crossover princess, but she also got a reputation for starting feuds with every other diva. That means every diva who crosses her path. Nicki Minaj put it plainly on her MTV documentary. While some might call her a bitch, she's really just bossing up. In other words, all of a sudden, I'm the bad diva. Is that difficult? Dedicated? Misunderstood? Other? What do you want to give her back?
First of all, I love you. I love you, baby girl.
Yeah, I knew it.
I want you to understand. I understand.
Talk
It's
to
not
her.
her fault.
That's right.
It's not her fault, little shorty. And
You're already preaching. Look at he's preaching.
I like Nicki.
Yeah, I know you
So, now, but she could be a diva, but I think she's not an evil, aggressive spirit. So no, I don't think. I think she stands her ground.
do. Okay.
People, and I think people challenge her constantly.
Right.
But I don't feel like she comes first with disrespect.
Okay.
She's not the first one, but she's not going to be pushed around. And so I don't view her like that. I don't really view
So
her
it's
as,
all
I
the-
don't view her
so-
as negative first.
Right.
She doesn't come like that. She's sort of cool at first
So
till you come tripping with her.
You going dedicated.
Yeah.
Misunderstood.
But she could be a diva.
Okay, I got you.
I'm just saying.
I'm feeling you.
But, you know,
All
hey,
right.
not bad.
All right.
She's not a bitch.
Okay, good. So we know she ain't gonna be your queen. We already know that.
No, wait, I'm going.
Let's go.
We can go get some shrimp.
All right, there we go. All right, let's go to the next one. Next one up. Let's switch it up here. This cat, Edward Norton, American actor, filmmaker. Norton has been described as a control freak. It's been claimed that he at least attempted to direct nearly every film he stars in. He has an uncredited role as a scriptwriter for The Incredible Hulk, just one of the many things that bothered the film's director in Marvel Studios. So bothered with Norton were they, and vice versa, that he was recast for the 2012 Avengers team-up effort. Now, they say these method actors and everybody else get in there, sometimes a little extra, and sometimes they say, you guys don't deal with the executives, they're assholes, that's why I gotta be an asshole. But, Maury, can you imagine? You've experienced when somebody tried to tell you, and I'm not gonna say the name, where somebody says, you're coming over to my field to tell me how to do my work. You don't have no respect for them when they do that.
Well, let's put it like this. It's a difficult world with a lot of difficult individuals. There are times when those of us who work harder than others know their job better than them. As a physician, I was always in that position. Okay. In other words, what I would have to explain to them at times that you may understand your organ system, but I got to balance all the organ systems, okay?
Right.
So if pulmonary feels this way and cardiology feels this way, and they not feeling the same way,
Oh, hold on now.
someone's got to call a
Okay.
shot. So Edward Norton is that guy.
He's what?
He studies his shit. So a lot of times he does know his stuff better than the other people. So you have to decide if you want to hire
So
him.
you think that him trying to direct every film is okay?
Well, no.
Right.
I'm not. I actually don't know it that way. I kind of look at it this way.
All right.
You have a film, and you are casting for that.
Right.
And he is a known quantity.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't want that kind of input, don't pick him. But once you pick him, kind of expect it.
Know the asshole and know what you're getting into.
The first person, yeah, because the first one or two people, maybe I give them, they don't know what you're like.
Right.
But he's a known quantity, Vic. It's like hiring
Like Marlon
Miles
Brando.
Davis.
It's like Marlon Brando.
Exactly.
I know what you're saying.
You're hiring one of those people. You know you're
but
getting
we
diva.
only assigning a category.
No, so I think more than no. What was the cat? See, what was the cat? See, this is a hard no. You want to say diva. See, the reason I don't want to just say diva because diva doesn't always imply to me you can back
Remember,
it up.
it's most difficult or misunderstood. Diva.
Well, most difficult.
Okay, that's all.
But that comes with exceptional talent.
Got you. I like the idea of going through this because
Yeah, in other words, I
First
work
one,
with asshole doctors, Victor, who were sharper than shit.
And listen, I'm just saying, I don't think he's that. I'm just kind of being a messenger of what's being put out there.
But that's the thing is that they're paying to work with.
Right. That's the product. He does a wonderful job.
They work at their shit. They work at their shit so hard.
Right.
That they're in it so much that it becomes too weird.
Right. Now let's
I get it.
Right. Let's go to the next. Next, stepping up. Okay. Naomi Campbell, English model, actress, singer. Forget the petty bitchery, like alleging.
How are we gonna
Well,
forget
hold on. Let me, because some people don't know. Like
forget
allegedly forcing designers to ban up-and-comer Tyra Banks from runway shows in the early 90s. Between 1998 and 2008 alone, she was accused 10 times of committing violent acts against her employees and other associates, like throwing a cell phone at her personal assistant, kicking and slapping her secretary, holding her assistant hostage, spitting on Heathrow police officers. She's banned from British Airways for life, and scratching her therapist's face. Do I need to say that this is just all misunderstood? Or what do you think? I already voted. I've already voted who's the queen. I already voted.
She's a bitch. Can't stand it.
she's
No.
It's done, man, done.
You said keep it simple.
Right.
No. It's the kind of people like, no, just no.
Right.
No.
Okay. You see, easy. That's why I want to let you know.
I think see, and it was so bad as you could imagine having dinner with her.
Right.
And I don't think I could get along with her during dinner. So
That's
I don't
okay.
really want to do it.
Well, you do know that she used to have a consumption issue, right?
Well, it makes sense.
Okay. That's
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. Now this one I'm bringing up next, because the stories, I'm just going to frame it a certain way because it's like that. Gwyneth Paltrow, American actress, businesswoman, socialite, lifestyle guru, singer, and food writer, known for being kind of petty, known for not getting along with people. This is what's reported. Having like difficulty because she is the one. You know, you generally don't have a bad thing to say, but she don't get along with anyone, especially the other women as divas. That's the framing of the story. That's all I'm saying. Is that just I'm dedicated and I'm a overachiever and you mad at me? Or is that she going like this? I run this bitch. Which one is it?
She's been voted the world's most beautiful woman
Right.
a few times.
Right.
which I never agreed with,
Okay.
but her elitist qualities
I see.
have been heightened,
Yes, they have.
maybe unfairly, maybe not. I think maybe not, but I think the fact that she's often behind very good issues too. So I feel sort of differently about Gwyneth.
What does that
Why
mean?
now, Myra say what?
What does that
because
mean?
I've
What's this-
dated diva black women who were just like this sort of. They're like
You're supposed to come up with
very
a
pretty.
Hey, why is this
The
explanation
world
coming
kisses
around?
their ass.
Wasn't there agree we were
And
supposed to sit back
so
and do a
they're
soliloquy?
spoiled, but that's still they're beautiful, they're intelligent, they're on the good side of it, a lot of most issues. So I don't think they should be demonized. On the
Who
other
said we
hand,
did? We're just saying. What do you think?
on the other hand, I understand the criticism.
Wait a
See,
minute.
I understand the
Wait a minute.
criticism.
Nobody's
I've dated
asking
these
you to
women,
understand.
Like,
We
people say,
said
well,
pick
I'm
a
not-
category.
I'm saying this type. The beautiful. I'm just intelligent over. See, Vic, you dated this type too.
Don't throw me under.
Yeah, I can throw you under. You dated
No.
this type too.
No.
We dated versions of this,
We're talking.
and they have redeeming qualities,
Wait a minute.
but they are spoiled brats.
Right. So
Why you say right? CZ Biggs dated
Right,
them
well,
too.
listen.
They're spoiled brats.
just put it under
but they're
other.
beautiful,
You just did
and
it.
we love them.
You just did it.
I'm just saying.
There's a category called other.
spoiled brat.
You said
Your other
spoiled
one's
brat.
drug. They're
There you
spoiled
go.
brat. But you know you love them.
See, he's
I
torn.
dated these
He's
women.
torn. Look at it.
Because I get along with them actually good because I'll be the guy they want.
Superman found his kryptonite, huh?
Whatever. See, and it's hard not to acknowledge, you know, when you get an overachieving brother
Okay.
and then an overachieving woman who's beautiful, you know,
Right.
and all that. I mean, like I said, Vic, you have been with women who a picture of you with that woman is striking.
Right.
See, that means shit.
Okay,
that means shit. I'm just saying, you and I both had this type.
They don't
Spoiled
care about
brats,
that.
But they, are
don't,
wonderful.
they don't care. They just go.
You love getting in bed with them.
Let me go to the next. Cause see what he's doing. See, this part is trying to go. I struggle because I don't. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next. The next, of course, Daniel Day-Lewis, retired English actor. And when I say that, he holds both British and Irish citizenship. For My Left Foot, the movie, he refused to leave his wheelchair while playing his paralyzed character, forcing resentful crew members to carry him around the set. While filming There Will Be Blood, Day-Lewis threw bowling balls at co-star Paul Dano for one scene. This was after Kel O'Neill, originally cast in Daniel's part, left production allegedly because Day-Lewis, Daniel, was too intense while in character. While filming Gangs of New York, Lewis insisted on calling co-star Liam Neeson by his character name, Offset, which infuriated Neeson. We know his history of being a method actor. That's not the issue. The issue, I said, I made my vote. This is not a secret. I said the idea that he said, you got to carry me in a wheelchair. I'm working here. I'm the engineer. I'm doing this. And I got to carry your ass around because you don't want to stop. It's called cut. And I got to go carry you around. And I have no vote in it because the powers that be say, you want to keep your job? You carry his ass around while he pretends to be paralyzed. What's your vote?
You know, you get those combinations of genius and crazy. And that's it. He is. He's another one of those combinations because you know he needs to be on meds and in therapy. So, he needs to be on meds. He needs to be in therapy, but he's also a genius. So, there you go. So, sometimes genius goes to extraordinary means in order to craft their work, and so that becomes part of it. But so he is a nut and a genius, and good luck.
Here's my vote. My vote for the king of most difficult, Daniel Day-Lewis. He's so far beyond that. To me, I just pictured somebody going like, okay, cut, and everybody's going to take a break. And then they pick certain people to assign you, since he's still a character. And you walk off with your co-star and you're going, let's go
Sacha
get...
Baron Cohen's supposed to do that
too. And they literally keep calling you the name in real life.
I'd go into the acting too, especially. Too bad it could be a fine female. So.
Right. So Naomi
Patrick
Campbell
Daniel Day.
is my number one for women. Daniel Day is number one for male. Who's your top two, male and female?
Female and male and female.
Difficult. Or just
I
totally
think
misunderstood.
Shia LaBeouf, my number one
Okay.
for male, and Naomi Campbell is number one for the female.
You did a good job. I was going to go Shia LaBeouf. I was. But we know he has a condition. We know that.
Yeah, well,
I just went to Daniel because he doesn't have that.
He's a genius actor, though.
Right.
So Shia hasn't shown that
Right.
degree. In other words, Daniel Day-Lewis has shown such a degree of genius
Right.
in his acting.
He's gone.
Now you
Gone.
got to deal with that whole dynamic of the
Right.
genius nut.
Thank you.
But Naomi Campbell, no, what is she genius at? Looking good or something? She didn't even do that. It's a gift from God.
Okay. We all support your achievements, you guys. Wonderful examples. Wish I could sit back and be like that. My hot picks is over, man. Until next time. It was fun as hell.
Everybody, hot picks. That's Morning Coffee. What a wonderful show indeed. It's been incredible. We've had a wonderful time. I want to say thank you to all those folks from Facebook, all the Facebook friends who have tuned in, and the new friends we're making. Thank you, God. Remember, we're here every week, part of the whole Monday experience. Be here live at 10 a.m. or be here live. We start the pre-show at 8:30 with Mac McAllister, Retro Jazz and Blues. We start our pre-show at 8:30. Well, thank you guys for being tuned in. You know, we say, ain't nobody got our DNA. See ya, Capella. See ya, Mac. See ya, Ted, Audrey. Everybody, all my new friends from Facebook. Wash your hands. Come on.
First off, I'm not your regular dude. I bust moves like a young MC. Yeah, sorta, that would be me. Got me thinking about putting down the mic one day. Then I get some more love. Thanks for the love you gotta play. Hey, what can I say? I'm a Leo to the finish, man. I love God, so my faith won't diminish, man. Once I step up to the mic, I speak truth. Hip-hop wasn't designed to exploit the black youth, but somewhere along the lines, we dropped the ball, yeah. I mean, that man in the mirror, yeah, that ball dude. But now I'm back to right the wrongs of my past world. So let me mark this off my list like my name's Earl. Articulate my thoughts clearly like Professor Les. Do you remember Rap City with Deja and Les? I'm looking at the front door, that's the main source. You're full, yeah, wait till I hit you with the main course. I was spitting when you was a kid, you doing what I did, you know I still got it. Why you brag about it? I be on solo, making my money's grow residual. I'm individual, nobody's got my DNA. I was spitting when you was a kid, you doing what I did, you know I still got it. Why you brag about it? I be on solo, making my money's grow residual. I'm individual, nobody's got my DNA. Tribe or shit alone. You like my raps, but really I write songs. I like to do it like this once in a while to show some versatility and make you all smile. It's been a long time coming, I know, I feel it too. The more I take a break, it's like the more I break through. With my time with Space Boy Funk, I'm on point. You bless this microphone every time I anoint the pen and pad. I face the bad head on. Escape inside the music, see my diary's a song. It's on till I write my next verse, then I go again into the studio. I feel I gotta flow again. This ain't just music to me, it's like my recipe. To be honest, it's more creative tranquility. This ain't just music to me, it's like my recipe. To be honest, it's more creative tranquility. I was spitting when you was a kid, you doing what I did, you know I still got it. Why you brag about it? I be on solo, making my money's grow residual. I'm individual, nobody's got my DNA. I was spitting when you was a kid, you doing what I did, you know I still got it. Why you brag about it? I be on solo, making my money's grow residual. I'm individual, nobody's got my DNA. They say they get me, I don't think they ever got me. My name's Kowalski, but they call me Kawasaki. Online I'm funds, but in real life I'm more like Chachi or Cola. I told you, I'm funky like granola. Bars, can't you see that I'm a star? Who pumps his own gas in the cold really fast? I pass on your gold digging stash. I'd rather make my own money, not advance me loan money, no. I was spitting when you was a kid, you doing what I did, you know I still got it. Why you brag about it? I be Oh, nobody's got my DNA. So there you have it. Nobody's got my DNA. Nobody's got my DNA. Nobody's got my DNA.
Alexa, begin playlist broadcast transition. See you, Facebook.
Your playlist, broadcast transition.